design your property or your yard or your garden, you look at it as a whole system. I think a lot of times people just come out and they're like, we're just going to put a garden right here and a flower right here and just whatever. So this is designed with everything has a purpose and everything has a system in place. Everything starts at the highest point and works its way down. So one of the big things I always talk about is slowing the flow of water. So if you're on a hillside area like this, especially for everyone around here, a lot of your water just runs off. You lose it all the way. So as far as a conservation principle, along the rock wall there, I've got the trees that kind of act as a shade, kind of natural boundary. Eventually they'll grow in. That's the first line of defense, is just putting some trees out with some deep roots to kind of stabilize the hillside growth as it is. This right here acts as the first level of terracing. Like I was trying to mention, each progressive of the 3 rows is progressively getting lower and lower, but yet they're also stacking up to be as your trap for moisture / water. Then on the sides here, this is all covered in deep beds of compost. Earlier this spring, I had all my compost pile. I had this giant pile, probably at least this tall. It's broken down. So as you're moving stuff down sequentially, when you get to this final spot, then all I had to do was take it from here and then spread it onto the beds. So there's no trying to go haul compost. There's no, work as easy as you have to. Don't try to make it harder than it needs to be. So keep everything together. But if you look at everything as like a system, like all the compost and all the pull weeds and trim things, old plants, it all goes back up here and it works its way down. This is all more of a naturalized area, but the biggest part of what this is like a filter. This is a big trap for everything coming down the way in this naturalized pollinator area. You can sit in the morning on the porch right there and look out, and of course you have all the blooms going, but you can literally see the plants moving in just a cloud of like bees. And it's not just, it's bumblebees, there's honeybees, there's like these little bees, a lot of flies. Flies do a lot of pollination people don't realize. Butterflies. So like you said, one thing, it's all beneficial to another. And a lot of times people garden, I call it like sterile gardening, where it'll be just a flower bed, it's all perfectly mulched. But if you're making a permaculture established, ecosystem, it's okay to be a little bit messy. So some people need to realize that it doesn't have to always be super formal and manicured and whatever. That's not what's actually best for your plants. Your soil should never be barren, so you're using it to fill in. You don't want open soil. So the cover crops you intentionally plant to cover it in. It's going to add the organic matter in the roots to it. It's just going to add the nutrients and stabilize your system. So that's one. A lot of your legumes and things like your clovers and alfalfas are going to put nitrogen back to the soil. Like I said, if you work it back in, it's going to add as a organic matter to help build your soil. I also use it as I'll grow it like a chop and drop. I'll let it grow it big enough that I should cut it down. Use that as mulch under my pepper plants and things like that. But you don't actually, take the plant up, so you're cutting it, it'll come back again. So you're actually just reutilizing that material, which actually suppresses weeds, retains moisture, and other plants as well.